as usual, the most important cog in the wheel when it comes to the opening day roster is the carefully chosen 5 pitchers for the rotation. With just a few starts left before the roster is finalized, each trip to the mound in the Grapefruit League becomes that much more important. Glanced at the schedule for spring training and said, I want to come see the Houston Astros. Well, their only visit to Bright House Field is today. And the fans are filing in on what is to be another nice afternoon here in Clearwater, the Phils and the Houston Astros. The Phillies have been looking for some good news from a pitching standpoint, and yesterday they got good news. Aaron Harang pitched on the backfields against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Carlos Ruiz was doing the catching, and he came out of it healthy. That is a big deal considering the back problems that he's had during spring training. It's a good sign for the Phils as we wind down spring training here in Clearwater. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Matt Stairs. All right, so it is good news that Aaron Harang threw well, but the competition is still vast for 1 or 2 of the rotation spots.
Well, it is. It's coming down with Gonzalez. He's been pitching. He's pitching today. Slow. He's pitched well as well. But to me, I think Gonzalez is very important to start today. He needs to get out on the mound. He needs to throw first pitch correct. That is a key for him. His curveball is kind of like a little loop curveball right now. I'd like to see him have a little better bite to it, but he has a good fastball, 94, 95 miles an hour. But his command has had a hard time this spring training. So that's why I think it's a very important start today. He goes out, throws strikes, and gives an opportunity to play the defense behind him.
Yeah, when he's fallen behind, he's given up home runs. That's been an issue for him. Well, these are the participants that are battling for rotation spots. Cole Hamels, he's in. Aaron Harang, if he's healthy, he's in. David Buchanan, you would think, is in as well. Chad Billingsley's not on this list because he's still coming back from Tommy John surgery, but is pitching well here in spring training. For more on the pitching staff, here's Greg Murphy with Bob McClure.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, Bob, we're getting to that point where this is starting to wrap up down here in Clearwater. I'm sure your thoughts are already on back in Philadelphia. You got a little bit more time to make some decisions, but one of the big questions coming in was the back end of the rotation. In your mind, the 4 or 5 spots, how's that starting to shape up?
I think it's shaping up pretty well, because of, unfortunately, the injury to Cliff. We've had to possibly bump up our 5 to a number 4. In Buchanan, but he's been pitching like a number 3. He's working at a quick pace. He's throwing lots of strikes. He's getting people out. He's changing speeds. He's doing everything we're asking him to do, and he's kind of taking on that responsibility. And he's the kind of kid that can do that. So we're looking for good things from him. He's handling the bat okay too, with a hit and run and a bunt, and so he's doing all the little things that guys with his kind of stuff need to do to fill that void.
And Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez, what have you seen from him? He seems to have been a guy that has been kind of progressing throughout the spring.
He has, especially arm strength-wise, he has, definitely. I think that he still needs to work on his command, to pitch at the major league level. You can't be behind a lot of hitters, so you've got to be able to pitch backwards when you're behind or locate your fastball when you're behind, and he still needs some work on that, but I'm seeing the ball come out better, cleaner. And so I'm looking for good things from him.
All right, Bob, we appreciate your time. Tom will send it back upstairs to you.
All right, Herb, thank you very much. It is Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez making the start today for the Philadelphia Phillies, and Asche Wojciechowski on the mound for the Houston Astros. He, too, is battling for rotation spot. Hey, the Phils are starting to hit some home runs. Darren Ruff has had a pretty good burst of power. Ryan Howard has hit his 3rd. And how about Cody Asche? 3 homers in the last 6 games. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Citizens Bank, introducing One Deposit Checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Toyota. Toyota's One for Everyone sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at here at Bright House Field. The Phillies have taken the field for today's ball game against the American League's Houston Astros. The Fanatic has gotten everybody all revved up. He's put a little X on Robbie Grossman of the Astros, and he is ready to go. Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez getting set to warm up out on the mound. Here's the Astros lineup. Leading it off in right field, Robbie Grossman. Batting second is former Phil, Jonathan Villar. Evan Gattis is in left field. John Singleton, also a former Philly, is over at first base. Matt Dominguez gets the start at third. Marwin Gonzalez at second base. He'll bat sixth. Carlos Correa, who's the top prospect for the Astros, former #1 pick, will bat seventh. Then Conger and Wojciechowski for the Astros. And they will face right-hander Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez. His velocity has been excellent this spring. The problem is his pitch location, Matt, has been somewhat erratic. It's part of the reason why he's allowed 17 hits in 10 1/3. He's only walked one, but he's run a lot of deep counts.
Yeah, and today is a very important start for him. It seems like he's been going on the mound, and he's either having command issues with his curveball or he's having command issues with his changeup or his fastball. You know, scouting report, 89 to 97 mile an hour. And Tom made a good point. His velocity is there. We just need to get that splitter change and cut her over for strikes. And it seems like at times he can control his fastball for strikes, and that's the only pitch he can control right there.
And whether he makes the rotation or not remains to be seen, but he would be a needed boost for a rotation which doesn't have a lot of guys that throw 95, 96 miles an hour.
And it's important because what it does is you have three starters, you know, with Harang, Williams, and Buchanan, who kind of throw the same speed, same type of arm movement, off speed, a little cutters, but having a guy that throws 97 miles an hour, you can put him in there and break him up.
Well, here's Robbie Grossman to lead it off for the Astros. The Astros come in 9-8-3. 3 ties for Houston this year. And the first pitch of the game is in there for strikes or underway. Grossman so far this spring is 14 for 36. Battling for one of the outfield spots for the Astros. It's 0-2, 92 on that fastball. The way it looks right now for the Astros, their outfield is going to have Gattis in left and Springer in right. Marisnick is probably going to be the center fielder, although they have Colby Rasmus. They've got Grossman inside. Gonzalez has allowed 3 home runs so far this spring. That one's back towards second. Chase Utley with his first chance of the day. And there's one out. Now that sounded like it didn't get anywhere near the sweet spot of the bat.
No, and it hit off the end, which was nice. It was a nice, slower curveball. When Gonzalez gets in trouble, sometimes that curveball becomes a little roller. This had a little better bite right here. And you can see it kind of backed up a little bit towards the point of contact, and that's why it went off the end of the bat.
Well, here's Jonathan Villar. Villar, former free agent signing by the Phillies. Swings at the first pitch. It's 0-1. He's had an okay spring. 8 RBIs. 9 hits and 32 at-bats. He's playing center field today. One ball and 1 strike. Well, he's ahead 1-2. So far so good for the first 2 batters.
Well, right there was an 82 mile an hour changeup. Up in the zone a little bit, but it might have been up in the zone enough to where you could get on top of it and drive it.
He does have a lot of pitches too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cameron Rupp is doing the catching today. Carlos Ruiz caught on the backfield yesterday when Aaron Harang was making his start against the minors for the minor leaguers of the Pirates. There's Carlos.
3-2.
I think Carlos has caught just about every starter so far, so he feels pretty good going into the season. That one will sneak through the right side. A base hit for Villar. So the first hit of the day on a quiet afternoon here in Clearwater. It's not as robust as it normally is here.
Very quiet today.
Evan Gattis, the batter, over from the Atlanta Braves organization. 6 for 17 so far. Pretty much making the transition to left field. He could be used as a DH too, although they have Chris Carter for that. And he can also be used as a catcher, but they have Jason Castro for that. One ball, one strike.
Well, Geddes should have no problems playing left field in Houston, because it might be the shortest porch I've ever seen in baseball.
Yeah, he could basically just hang out near the warning track and he's fine.
Yeah, and a pop up, the shortstop will catch it.
Right. One ball, one strike. Not a bad pitch, just missed outside. It's 2-1. Gonzalez looked like from his body language that he wanted that one. This could be two. Utley's got it on a nice hop. The flip to Galvis, who takes a casual stroll. I don't think he got it out of his glove. I mean, he basically threw that from second base. Fielder's choice, 4-6 of the put-out.
Chase gives him a great feed. No, I think it's more nonchalant.
Number 21, John Singleton, first base.
Larry Bowa was such a good shortstop during his day. You know, he probably has an idea of what happened there. You're right, the feed was good.
The feed's perfect.
Right there, though, it looks like he has trouble gripping it, Matt. But he was still very casual with
He had 15 feet.
it. He did. He was pacing himself. First pitch to Jonathan Singleton is a strike. 270 hitter this spring. Last year he had 13 home runs. However, he hit just a .168. At one time he was one of the Phillies' top prospects. They traded him to the Astros like they did with a lot of their prospects in the Hunter Pence trade. They figured there was a logjam at first base with Ryan Howard there. No balls, two strikes. Left field line into foul territory. Cody Asche a long run and makes the catch. What a play. An outstanding grab by Asche. It's not as easy as he made it look. The Astros lead one. They get one hit. And a little leather being flipped over third base by the Phillies' Cody Asche for the final out. Freddie Galvis having a chat with Larry Boa. Larry was doing most of the talking about that play at second base in which Gaddis was able to beat out a potential double play ball. He's getting ready to bat. He'll be up second for the Phils. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Revere, Galvis, and Utley. Ryan Howard, Cody Asche, and Odubel Herrera. Brian Bogusevic is in right field. Cameron Rupp is doing the catching today. He'll bat eighth, and Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez will hit ninth. There's a lot of the opening day lineup that is in today's lineup for the Phillies. They will face Asche Wojciechowski, originally a Toronto Blue Jay prospect, and he was acquired by the Astros in the 6-for-3 trade a couple years ago. Pretty good numbers so far this spring. Now the first pitch to Ben Revere in there for a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, Asche has a pretty good fastball. You see 90 to 93 mile an hour fastball. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, and like you said, Tom, he was a first-round pick in 2010 for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Asche, we're going by Asche today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's a big last name. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look out.
Nice play. Now there's a fan who's been here before.
Yeah, he sensed it, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He realized he was going to play the carom.
Meanwhile, 2 seats over from him was a lady with a Chase Utley t-shirt jersey that has not been here before because all she did was cover her head. 2-2 to Revere. Well, hopefully that hit a vacant seat and nothing else. That got into the crowd pretty quickly. That lady said, you know what, I better go somewhere else. Fights it off and fouls it over the third base side. Ooh. James Hoy is behind the plate. Phil Cuzzi's at first. Vic Carapaza at second. And DJ Rayburn is around at third. Toward the right side, Singleton's a pretty good fielder, and he flips to Wojciechowski covering. And 1 away here in the first.
Batting second, number 13, Freddie Galvis, shortstop.
Here's Freddie Galvis.
Wojciechowski's got that nice, easy delivery, and the ball gets on him pretty quick. Notice I said last name first off?
Yeah.
Didn't use the Asche.
That's good. You call him Wojo.
They could. Or call him Ski.
There's so many things you can call him. Freddie Galvis is 13 of 47 so far this spring.
So that guy on the mound.
That guy on the mound's got a pretty good fastball. That last one was at 92 miles an hour. Sweeps that pitch in. It's 0-2. Phillies are now 11-10-1 this spring. They've won their last 2 games, including yesterday in Atlanta or in Orlando against the Braves. Darren Ruff and Ryan Howard both hit home runs. Back-to-back for Ryan Sandberg's team. Down the right field line, and it's foul. He was right on that pitch.
His fastball inside, nice quick hands.
Hey, we're going light water here, ice cold water.
Out toward right center field. The R was playing shallow on the run, and he makes the diving grab. And Freddie Galvis is retired for the second out. I don't know if he needed to dive. I think he had it. and then went down?
The catch and dive.
He caught it and then dove.
But it was a nice play. He went a long way.
Number 26.
Well, not bad for a guy that used to be an infielder.
It's a nice play. Good concentration. It was a long run, too.
That'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. Utley so far 7 for 18 this spring.
Had a really good chat with Chase Utley today for about 15 minutes today in the on the bench about hitting today.
I think it's great that you were able to get him to sit down for 15 minutes.
He came over and sat right beside me and asked me a question. I'm like, really? Thought maybe it was a prank or something, or the camera was on me.
Inside 2-1. Well, he looks good.
And we talked about his first at bat this spring, where he saw 9 pitches. He says it's set his waves so far on his timing wise because he's seen a lot of pitches early in his games. And he's feeling comfortable and he's feeling good. The ankle's fine. Defense, he's just a matter of getting in the rhythm.
They have the shift on for Chase. The Ryan Howard shift with 3 infielders on the right side.
I was kind of picking his brain a little bit and all the positive things he thought. He thought the Herreras looked very good. With Ryan Howard's back to moving around at first base, swinging well. Power's back.
Well, he's down looking on that breaking ball. So the first strikeout of the afternoon for Wojciechowski. Now the side is retired in order. We'll go to the second here at Bright House Field. Off a pretty good catch from VR. We have no score. Wednesday, April 8th, the Phillies will take on the Boston Red Sox at Citizens Bank Park. First night game of the year. It's McDonald's opening night. The McDonald's opening night T-shirt for fans 15 and older who come to the ballpark. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Matt Dominguez leads it off and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Dominguez last year 16 home runs, 57 runs batted in. It's got a little bit of a battle going on over at third base with Luis Valbuena, who is tearing up the Grapefruit League right now. Valbuena over from the Cubs organization. 2 balls and 2 strikes as that one is shot foul.
Still find it different with the Houston Astros being in the American League.
It is odd.
It really is.
Hey, they were a tough opponent for you guys when you were playing for the Phillies.
Yeah, they were.
To the right side, and again, it's going to sneak through for a base hit. So Dominguez has the second hit for the Astros. Well, we talked about the addition of Evan Gattis before. Here are some of the other additions the Astros have picked up over the offseason. Jed Lowry's going to play shortstop. Patton Ishak's going to help out their bullpen. Colby Rasmus is probably going to be a 4th outfielder in some ways for the Astros. And Valbuena, as we mentioned, kind of battling over third base with Dominguez for that spot. Here's Marwin Gonzalez, who is playing second base today, but Matt, he will not be the everyday second baseman. Because they got a guy who's probably the best one in baseball right now, and Jose Altuve.
He's pretty good. I was kind of hoping he would have made the trip over here today.
I was hoping the same thing.
I think the Fanatic would have been too.
Yeah, the Fanatic was when Wheels was introducing the starting lineup. The Fanatic, hit the bag. That's a fair ball. And it's going down the right field line. Dominguez is on his way to third. It'll be first and third with nobody out.
Batting 7, number 76, Carlos Correa, shortstop.
Right here, this is where you know you're swinging the bat well and you're living clean right when it clips off the base down the first baseline, and then it probably would have been a double. Good thing I hit the bag.
Yeah, I thought it was going to hook foul, but by that replay, it was going right over it.
Clean living.
Well, here's Carlos Correa, the former #1 pick, picked in the first round in 2012 by the Astros. He will be the everyday shortstop at some point in the next couple of years. He's just 20 years old, from Puerto Rico. He's having a good spring, 9 for 33.
Pretty good pitch right there.
Yeah, we got a little tight strike zone going on right now. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. 1 run will score. Revere will get to it, and the throw will go to second base. Offline of second base. It'll be an RBI double for Correa, and the Astros lead it 1-0.
Batting 8th, number 16, Hank Conger, catcher.
Well, this is where we talked about giving up a lot of hits, and one he fell behind right there. And really had to come in and throw a strike 2-0. A lot easier hitting when you're up at 2-0 and you know that they have to throw a strike.
Well, I think that's what Bob was telling Murph before, is it's not that he's walking a lot of guys. It's just that he's falling behind and then getting into hitters' counts, and that's where he's running into trouble.
Right.
Here's Hank Conger.
Almost gets to the point where runners get on base. He pitches backwards a little bit. He kind of nibbles a little bit instead of going out and throwing a nice sinker and trying to get a ground ball.
Yeah, because he has the stuff to kind of blow it by him if he wants to.
He does.
He wants to throw something other than what Cameron Rupp is putting his hands down for. One ball, one strike. And now time is called. Rupp's going to go out. I think at this point, Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez wants something other than these last 2 pitches that Rupp has requested.
Right, and I think right now, to me, it looks like Gonzalez wants to throw the pitch that he feels the most comfortable throwing thus far in the game. What that is, I have no idea yet.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about pitchers having the ultimate control. I mean, you know, very rarely do you shake off Carlos Ruiz. It's not Ruiz catching today. Into foul territory. Galvis calls off Asche. Makes the catch. 1 out.
Batting ninth, number 59, Asche Wojciechowski.
So now here's Asche Wojciechowski. Be huge if they can get out of this with allowing just the 1 run or even 2 runs. If they can get an out here and then get the last out. They will play the infield in. First at bat of the spring for Wojciechowski. He's only had 9 at bats during his career. No swings is Phil Cuzzy. His body really wanted to go.
It did. This is where pitchers have an advantage as a hitter. And it's a great time to put a squeeze on because you know you want to throw strikes to a pitcher. You usually want to throw a lot of fastballs.
There's a fly ball out to right center field, slicing toward Bogusevic. A run will score. His throw goes toward third. It's 2-0 Houston. How about Wojciechowski picking up the RBI on the sac fly?
Right fielder Robbie Grossman.
Usually pitchers have an opportunity to drive in runs with a runner in third, as long as they can control the bat, because they're going to see a lot of fastballs. I guess the pitcher of thought is you don't want to waste your best pitchers on a pitcher versus him. So you're going to try to knock the bat out of his hand by using fastballs.
Well, you heard Bob McClure tell Murph before that the thing about David Buchanan is that he's handling the bat a lot better this spring. Here's Robbie Grossman. Boy, that line has been really busy today. This time it's Revere who makes the call in foul territory, puts it away. The Astros do score 2 runs in the inning. They leave 1. They picked up 3 hits. Middle of the second. Astros 2, Phillies nothing. Starting Monday, April 6th, that's the Phillies opening day. Wake up with an all-new morning show dedicated to feeding the passion of Phillies sports fans. Don't miss the premiere of Breakfast on Broad, hosted by Rob Ellis, Jillian Mealy, Barrett Brooks, and Sarah Baker. Weekday mornings from 6 till 8 right here on the Comcast Network. Wish the crew the best of luck with that. Rob Ellis, one of the best guys in the business. It's nice to see that he'll have an opportunity to kick off everybody's day on television. Here's Ryan Howard to lead it off. Howard 10 for 46 so far this spring. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Boy, he was awfully close to sending that one out of the yard. Instead, it's a shallow fly ball to center. VR is there to make the catch. 4 up, 4 down for Wojciechowski. Well, that'll bring Cody Asche to the plate. We saw the other day Asche connected on a 2-run home run against the Minnesota Twins. 3rd home run of the spring. He has 3 home runs in the last 6 games. And, well, Murph, we can see that his swing looks good, but I know he feels like his swing is pretty good right now.
Yeah, I had a good conversation with him this morning, and, you know, I said to him, it seems like you're playing a lot of baseball this spring, and he said, you know, it really is. This is a at-bat number 40 for Cody Asche, and as you said, Tom, at the beginning of the program, and, you know, he's starting to heat up, and he said right now feeling pretty good about where his swing is going into the regular season. He said he looked at the calendar about 2.5 weeks ago and was like, oh, wow, so 2.5 weeks before we head north. He said, then I blink. Next thing you know, we've got a week left. And he's at the point now where he feels like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go up there and get this season started, which I think a lot of the guys are thinking at this point. But Cody is very pleased with where he is at this point, and I think it's showing how comfortable he is at the plate. And truth be told, what he really wanted to talk about, guys, I was standing there with Jim Jackson, was his St. Louis Blues. That's really all that Cody wanted to talk about this morning as he hits that one inside the bag, first base. So, you know, we did talk a little hockey as well, but I tried to get him back on baseball talk as much as I could.
Yeah, JJ's been answering a lot of hockey questions while he's been down here for the last couple of days. Well, this one, right down the first base line, it may have clipped the bag a little bit. Matt, they had a shift on for Cody Asche. We haven't seen anybody put a shift on for Cody Asche.
No, and that's why the second pitch you saw him attempt to lay a bunt down. But nice piece of hitting the ball down the right field line, and another nice solid contact by Cody Asche.
So now 10 for 40 this spring. Here's Odubel Herrera. Talking about a guy that's bounced around this lineup, but he has been in the lineup pretty much every day. This is his 43rd at bat.
I think everyday players should get close to 60 at bats before the season starts. That's a number I feel that you're going to go through a couple of ups and downs during spring training.
Well, it seems like these guys are on track for that with a week left before we head back north. See the numbers for Herrera, where he ranks.
357th, and he's 8th.
Yeah, it hasn't balanced out yet. Off the end of the bat, slowly left side. Dominguez will scoop it up. As she goes to second. And there are 2 outs. Well, we mentioned how hard he's been working in the outfield. This is Herrera and Juan Samuel working at 8:40 this morning, hitting jumps. There are a handful of different techniques that Sammy does. It's not only hitting the baseball off the fungo, but it's doing stuff like this too, Matt.
Well, that's what you want to do, and it's all about footwork. Yeah, you can sit at home plate and hit fungos day in and day out and catch them left and right in the outfield, but you know, the drills that Sam Moss doing right there it's nice, quick feet work and opening up and going after the ball right.
Here's Brian Bogusevic, who is a former Astro. Last year he played 47 games in the majors with the Cubs, but he spent the previous 3 years in the big leagues with Houston. Bogusevic's having himself I guess you can't say quietly anymore because they're paring down the roster so much, but he's having an excellent spring.
Great spring training. Good defense, hitting for power, driving the ball, left field, right field. He's opened up a lot of eyes this spring training.
And with the injury to Dominic Brown, there may be more roster spots open once the season arrives, because I think people are wondering whether Dominic will be healthy enough to go north with the team and not be on the DL. Out toward right field. Playable for Grossman, and he makes the catch. It almost looked like he was running in quicksand out there. But he's able to track it down. No runs, one hit, and one man left in scoring position. On to the third here in Bright House Field. Nothing as we go to the top of the third here at Bright House Field. Well, it is finally official. That's right. Mike Schmidt is going to join the broadcast again in 2015, but in an expanded role. It's no longer Sundays with Schmidt. It's weekends with Schmidt. It begins April 11th. And Michael's joining us down in the booth.
I think the umpire's blocking the camera's view, isn't it?
No, you were good.
No, we're over high first.
High
okay.
first.
Yeah, we got it done. They gave me the suite on the road and the limousine to the stadium, and
all the perks of a big star.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Weekends with Schmidt, looking forward to it. You know, Tommy, Matt, of course. Looking forward to working with Ben.
Yeah, I know we're all excited about it. I mean, it's great that we're able to put together 2 days each homestand because you're there anyway. So it's nice to have you in the booth for 2 days.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I would normally be watching the game from somewhere in the stadium or at the hotel. I might as well sit next to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Or down there. I mean, if you sat down there and did the game, I mean, it would give us a totally different perspective.
You mean like at Citizens Bank down beside the dugout? I like it up there with you guys.
I don't know if Bob McClure would want you next to him the entire time, or Bo, or anybody like that.
No, I like that view up there.
It's a lot easier up here, too. It's a lot slower.
Right. How you doing up there, Matt?
I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to working, I believe, 8 weekends with you and talk more hitting.
Okay. I mean, golly, I've had 6 weeks. Well, not 6-5. I got another week, and I've been getting my fill of hitting, as you know, here this spring. It's been a very interesting spring, as you guys know from watching from your vantage point. We've done more coaching of the art of hitting this spring than I think has ever been done in Philly spring training history.
Have you enjoyed it, Mike?
Yeah, sure. Tommy, you know, we've got so many young kids. Kids, maybe not the right young men, with a chance to make the team. You know, they're just a breath of fresh air to be around every day. You know, taking nothing away from the years when the team was, had several all-stars on it. more set, if you will, going into the season, and not many young men. There weren't many positions open on the team, and with it being that way this year, and the system that Rhino and Ruben came up with, that six of us each have 5 or 6 guys that we're in charge of. It's been a wonderful time. We have that meeting every morning that we look forward to talk about the previous day. And I've enjoyed it. I think we'll probably end up doing it again next year. I think if it's successful and translates into a better offensive ball club for it this year, we'll definitely be doing it again next year.
Well, and we're looking at it right now with Utley and Galvis and Asche, Brown, Danks, and Ruff. Cody Asche, I mean, we were high on him last year, what we thought of his swing. What do you think his improvement this year, and what have you liked the spring training out of him so far?
Matt,
everything.
Yeah. Where do you want me to begin? He's opened up everyone's eyes. I'm trying to get him thinking in terms of leading the league in hitting. I like lofty goals, and he's taken to the whole concept of down through the ball, like a duck would take the water. And you're seeing it on the field here this spring. He's probably got more hits than anybody on the team this spring thus far. Freddie the same way. Freddie's had a nice spring. And you're looking at basically our starting infield out there, with the exception of Carlos behind the plate.
How do you think Freddie has looked, Mike? I mean, do you think he'll slide in and take over that spot which was left by Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's a classy defensive player. He had a couple of plays this year. I remember one in particular over in Tampa when he and Cesar turned a double play in a key inning for one of our left-handed pitchers, and he's made several really good plays. I know he had a little problem with that double play ball earlier in this game, but he had a long way to go with Gaddis hitting. He was playing way over in the hole, as he is right now. You can see where he's playing right now with Gaddis as the batter. But defensively in the infield, we are going to be very strong.
Devin Gaddis is the batter. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. And he rips one out toward left field. Ben Revere on the run. He won't get there. It'll be off the base of the wall. And Gaddis will shuffle into second with a 1-out double. Mike, that man is very strong right there that just hit that double.
Yes, he is. Stands kind of what I call to be. He gets down in. He gets down in there with it. He's got his nose. He's got his nose in the strike zone, and he stands relatively close to the plate, and it's like Paul Bunyan up there. He's got the beard working.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a great. He has his nose. It's like smelling the baseball. As the ball comes in, you want to keep your nose out over home plate. You want to smell the baseball. That'll keep your head down, and I think that's what you guys have done a great job working with the young hitters this spring. Is that Galvis has done a nice job of driving the ball to left center. Dominic Brown has shown signs of getting there. Ryan Howard seems like he's standing out over top of the baseball more. So it seems like it's all working with everyone right now, and I think offensively they're going to be fun to watch.
Yes, they are, Matty. But there's several stages involved here. There's that batting tee. There's that front side toss. There's that iron mic. There's that batting practice. There's spring training, and there's that real season. Right.
Well, let me ask this question.
It's like baby steps right up to when the gun goes off.
This is the one I was interested with. It was the front toss, where I've always done it was the underhand just to get loose.
Yeah, we eliminated that.
Strictly overhand, right?
Yeah. That was discussed at Phillies organizational meetings this year. We had all the hitting people together at the organizational meetings, and we decided that the arc that the ball comes to the hitter on with that front side toss underhanded, it's sort of like a little upside down rainbow arc, would not be a good plane for the ball to be coming on. It would be better practice. There you go, Tommy.
Ben Revere under it. He's been busy in this inning. Makes the catch. 2 outs.
And it would be a better plane to practice on with the oak ball coming in from the overhand view, to the hitter. It's coming on more of so when you say a level or downward plane from the pitcher's release on the front side toss drill.
So are you guys sitting down and just throwing it overhand, or like?
Well, some of the guys sit down. I don't. I kind of you know, it's kind of like my max distance there, like 20 feet.
It's like you're throwing darts. That's all it is. And it makes sense, really, because
it does make sense.
You know, unless you're facing a submarine in a game, you might want to watch that underhand. But
there's Dominguez, a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
You know what I found interesting too was after games, you guys would have the pitching machine set up and take some extra hacks on the field.
Yeah, they did that also this year. Rhino wanted to put 4 guys out there after the games. And, that drill is usually what they call a hit-and-run drill. He turns that kid, Cody, make a nice play behind the bag there. Yeah, he wanted that's a hit-and-run drill, Matt, where they want him to swing at every pitch. So it's just a sense for something they're going to do a lot this year, and that's hit and run.
Very nice.
Well, Michael, we appreciate it, and we look forward to having you on the telecast again this year in an expanded role. We're really excited.
Yeah, look forward to it, guys. It won't be long. I guess the first weekend.
That's exactly right. Weekends with Schmidt. Back in the booth for 2015 with an expanded role. We'll be back at the bottom of the third right after this. By Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. We go to the bottom of the third. Cameron Rupp takes a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. Rupp so far 8 for 23 RBIs. Trying to put a stamp on that backup catcher's job. We haven't seen a whole lot of Cameron Rupp because most of his time is spent on the road because Carlos Ruiz, the veteran that he is, gets the opportunities here at home. Cam hit 183 last year in his brief time with the Phils. Out toward right field. It's not deep. Playable for VR. And he makes the catch. Hatfield Phillies Frank's Dollar Dog Night. The first one is Thursday, April 9th, when the Phillies take on the Boston Red Sox. It's all part of a 3-game series. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Well, here's Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez. There are no known records of Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez hitting in Cuba. At least none that we could find. Takes the first pitch up high, 1-0.
That's all right. We'll go back and talk about what we talked with Mike Schmidt about. And I did not realize that after games, they were doing basically the hit and run machine.
Yeah.
I thought it was just extra batting practice. That is a tremendous idea.
Well, I guess the more reps in more situations, it's all part of what they've been trying to change as far as the approach goes for the team. You sure you don't want to talk about Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez this swing?
No.
Those are his minor league numbers, just 1 at bat. Swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs. Well, if he got a hold of it, it would go a mile.
Foul.
Well, it would still go a mile. 2 outs. Ben Revere's coming up. He's 0 for 1. So, Murph, you got a ticket for that seat down there, buddy?
I'm sorry, say again, Tom?
Do you have a ticket for that seat down there?
I think I could probably find one. This is a pretty good seat I've got right here.
Ben Revere takes a strike. It's 0-1. Oh, and 2. Murph, there is a left-hander up, though, so we want you to be on your toes. You could get a foul ball right into your lap.
I was coming to say hi to Mom and Dad over here, and I told them the same thing. Watch out for these left-handers.
Yeah, there's Dad with the glasses on. Murph's dad, Bill. In the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's Murph's mom and dad. Tell your mom she's on TV.
You're on TV. Wait. Now she's nervous.
Dad would have waved if you told him to wave, though.
Yeah, he's a hand.
Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. How are they enjoying their stay in Clearwater? Are they enjoying themselves?
I believe they are.
Yeah.
They came into town over the weekend, and it's been a week here. So.
Have you purchased a meal since they came into town?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Swing and a miss. And Wojciechowski has back-to-back strikeouts, 3 overall. He's allowed just 1 hit through the first 3 innings. We'll go to the 4th with the Astros up 2-0.
It's nice to get back out there, kind of build the innings back up, be in a controlled environment. The 1 inning we had 8 pitches, so they, kept me out there for another hitter. And then the last inning, I was specifically working out of the stretch from the get-go just to make sure I had a good feel for that. So other than that, it felt good. Felt like I had pretty decent command. Not great, but when you come over and throw in these backfield games, it's more about just getting the feel. And these guys, they want to come out and swing hard and swing early.
That is true. That's why he only threw a handful of pitches, because those guys are looking for the first strike that they see, and they want to take a hack at it. Well, that's good news that he felt good coming out of that appearance, because as we mentioned, the Phillies have Cole Hamels as their number 1. You figure David Buchanan is somewhere in the mix there, but then after that, that there are spots up for grabs. And there are guys that are penciled into those spots,
right,
but there are spots up for grabs.
Well, and there is, and that's why it's such a big start today for Gonzalez. To go out there and say, hey, I'm ready to go north. But it is huge to have Harang being healthy back. The bounce back from yesterday's throwing to today, see how he's feeling. He's doing well, so that's a key.
Marwin Gonzalez will lead things off. Gonzalez singled and scored his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. All right, so he's allowed 5 hits through 3. I mean, are you seeing positives from Miguel Alfredo?
At times. I think the ball's come out of his hand pretty good.
He's fighting the umpire a little bit, isn't he?
Well, that was the ball. That was outside. But with him, though, his curveball doesn't have that real tight break to it. It's like the curveball rolls in there. We've seen a handful of changeups, which he usually misses low and away to right-handers. Or, I'm sorry, to left-handers. But, he's healthy. The ball is coming out well.
Swing and a miss. And Gonzalez has the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See, this is one where it's not even on the scattering plan. It's just like a little slider at 83. Doesn't move a whole lot.
That's what I said. He has a ton of pitches. Ryan Howard takes the big hop and will just trot to the bag. And 1 away here in the 4th. And that'll bring Carlos Correa to the plate.
Carlos Correa.
And that was a backdoor cutter. And dangerous pitch. It really is, because if you leave it too much in the middle of the plate or catches too much of the plate, it's going right into the barrel. Bob McClure and I had a great talk for about 15 minutes about pitching away from barrels. You want cutters inside under the hands. You want sinkers going away from the barrel. A backdoor cutter is a dangerous pitch if it does not work out.
Because it can come right back into the meat of the bat.
Right back in the barrel. It's like throwing a curveball. A right-hander throwing a curveball to a right-hander. Like, you see how that home run Albert Pujols hit yesterday? A curveball he hit yesterday? I mean, that ball was, and those are the dangerous pitches.
2-1 to Correa. Last year, had 325 in the minor leagues with 6 home runs. Out to left field, that's pretty well hit. Revere going back toward the wall. It is gone. That is a strong man to be able to pull that one over the fence. It's 3-0 Astros on top. Second home run of the spring for Correa. Mentioned he is the Astros' top prospect, just 20 years old. And he's got his 11th hit of the spring, and he's got 2 RBIs here today.
This short swing at a curveball. He's out in front of it a little bit, but his hand stayed back. Check the location, middle of the plate. But he was out in front of it just a little bit, but it is a very strong and powerful swing for a young fellow.
Considering he's not filled out yet. He's just 20 years old. His arrival in Houston may come a little sooner than what they anticipated. That one's hit well. That's not coming back. Bogusevic will watch it go. That's Gator bait, folks. 4-0 Astros. Hank Conger with his first home run of the spring. Well, that's the 5th home run he's allowed this spring. Bob McClure coming out. There's nobody warming up.
2 cameras set up low and away, and tossed right back down the inner half.
Boy, he was right on that pitch, too. Conger got a splash of water in his face after that. Nobody's gotten up just yet in the Phillies bullpen. Larry Boa did go down to the phone. I thought maybe to make a call and see if somebody would start warming up. There are a couple of minor league guys that have been added to the roster for today. But that's 4 runs now on 7 hits allowed by Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez. All right, Matt, so this is where Cameron Rupp was set up.
Yeah, this is where you want to be. This is going to be like a 2-seamer low and away. That's where you want the ball to start. He kind of just pulls it right there, and as you can see right there, it comes in inner half. So it's just a matter of missing about 6 or 7 inches, but it missed inner half for a left-hander, where that's a sweet area.
Well, there's Carnegie, who pitched the other day here at Bright House Field, warming up. And Wojciechowski will take a pitch low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Hey, that Correa kid he looks like the real deal.
Yeah.
They don't need to use him this year, but depending on where he starts, he may wind up being up at some point this year.
Well, it comes back to where they can always say if he stays down for 12 or 13 days, they have him for another year.
Yeah. We like to think that teams don't think that way, but it's a business. They do.
They do.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. And that is the first strikeout of the day for Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez. 2 gone. Top of the order now for the Astros.
It's like the Cubs are going to have a nice little decision what they have to do with that Bryant kid.
I think he's already made their decision for them. I mean, you know, we're not in that front office. It's their decision and not ours. But I don't know how you can keep him down in the minor leagues.
9 home runs this spring.
Yep. Chris Bryant, the former #1 pick, tore it up in the minor leagues last year. He's probably a first baseman. That would be his best position, but they already have one there with Anthony Rizzo. So he's played third, and now they've got him playing the outfield. Breaking ball.
It's not that short.
Line drive. Base hit it to center field for Grossman. Robbie Grossman fan club is excited about that. 2-out single. And that'll bring Jonathan VR to the plate.
Jonathan VR.
Chris Bryant is the #1 prospect in baseball, according to Baseball America. Correa is the #4 prospect in baseball, according to Baseball America. He's hitting, this is Bryant, by the way, hitting .464 with 9 home runs and 15 RBIs. This after last year, he combined to hit 43 home runs in AA and AAA.
He was all-world last year.
One ball, no strikes. Off the plate. Freddie Galvis will wait for it. Bare hands, fires in time to get VR. And the side is retired. 2-run score, back-to-back home runs for the Astros. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Astros up 4-0. To the bottom of the 4th inning here at Bright House Field. It's time to revisit Murph on the Move.
Well, if you saw the movies Dolphin Tale and Dolphin Tale 2, you already know about the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. And of course, aquarium is in the name, but it is so much more than that. It is a marine life rescue center. All of the animals here at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium have been rescued for one reason or another. They get the best care available, and if they can be back and released back into the wild, they are. But if they're not, they live out their lives right here, getting continued care at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. Why should you come here? Well, the reason this is open since 1979 is because people like us come and check out the animals and meet some superstars like Hope and Winter right here in their pool. All of the donations that you make when you come to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium help keep this place open, and that's what's so important. It's a great time for the family, so when you come down to Clearwater, make sure you stop by the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. And guys, in case you missed that, that's the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. I mentioned that a couple of times.
Did you have a tough time saying that?
Yes. I drilled it into my head. That was a lot of fun. That was really cool. They let me go out into that dolphin pool where Winter and Hope hang out. And if you've never been over there, it really is a neat place. And certainly they're doing great work as well. So, once again, the Clearwater Marine Aquarium is a great spot to be if you're out there on the move, guys.
Yeah, it's right before you get to the circle in Clearwater. It's if you go toward the Island Way area, as Freddie Galvis rips. Oh boy, oh boy, that was awfully close. 1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, she really could have gotten hurt on that. Bunt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freddie flied out to right center field his first time up. DR was able to track it down. Drive, base hit it to right field. Just the second hit for the Phillies. But the leadoff batter is aboard for the first time today, and Chase Utley will be the hitter. Well, some of the other things that you can see at the aquarium, the props from the movie Dolphin Tale. They're actually trying to expand the aquarium a little bit. Some of the turtles that have been rescued and are still living there before they get released back into the wild. They have an arena where you can see some of the shows, a smaller arena where you see some of the animals perform too. Chase Utley's the hitter, and he waves at the first pitch. It's 0-1.
Tom, that one of those turtles, that wasn't the one you were racing yesterday on the golf course, was it?
No, no. The one I was racing yesterday on the golf course was much quicker than that one that was in the water.
I wish we would have had a picture of that.
Yeah. 0-1. Galvis being held on by Singleton. Toward right center field, Grossman scampers into the alleyway, and VR comes sliding in and makes the catch and takes out his right fielder in doing so. Galvis goes back to first. 1 out.
This is a tough play. When he sees him last second, tries to get out of the way. So he's yelling early in the right fielder. He kind of sees it and he peels off, but unfortunately he peels off into right there. You can see he's trying to peel off.
That's an excellent play by VR.
Yeah.
So Grossman is walking the paint off a little bit. A.J. Hinch, the manager of the Astros, arrives out to chat with him, with the athletic trainer. Looks like he said he was all right. He'll be all right. They kind of forgot about VR. All right, so he looks like he's okay. 1 away and brings Ryan Howard to the plate. Seems like VR's okay. So A.J. Hinch and the athletic trainer head back.
First baseman Ryan Howard.
Howard flied out to center his first time up. Matt, is there concern about where Ryan's average is right now? Or can we look past that and see how he finishes this last week before the start of the season?
No, I think you look past that. I mean, there's always a concern. You're coming off a year where you hit 223. You hit 213 in spring training, but I think he has the signs of the power starting to get back.
Foul ball according to the first base umpire. Ryan Howard's wondering, how is that foul? Boy, he hit that ball pretty hard, too.
He did.
Well, he was right there. He had a better look at it than we did from our vantage point.
One thing we haven't seen from Ryan this spring training is the power to left field. 3 home runs he's hit. He hit 1 for right center and 2 to right field. A lot of hits have been to right field, which is a good thing for him.
He hooks that one down the right field line. That'll be in for an extra base hit. Galvis should be able to score. Grossman gets to it, but it dies at the wall. Freddie's going to come home. The throw by Gonzalez not in time. And it's a 4-1 ball game. An RBI double for Ryan Howard. No problems with that high pitch. He pulled it right down the line.
Yeah, with Ryan's swing right now is that he's staying through the ball a little longer. And last year, if you would have looked at the same pitch, you probably would have hooked at the first base on the ground. But his barrel's going through the zone longer, which is allowing him to stay inside the ball longer and allow him to elevate the baseball. So, no, my 213, his 213 average is not a concern yet.
All right. Here's Cody Asche. Asche singled his first time up. Again, they have the 3-man overshift on against Cody. I can't recall another team that has done that with Cody Asche. Ground ball right side. And there are 2 outs.
Center fielder, Odubel Herrera.
And with Howard at third, Odubel Herrera's coming up. So, Tom, we do have the picture. Actually, that's closer than I expected. That race right there.
Well, I was allowing it to be closer than you expected. It's a beautiful turtle, though. Tortoise. I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful.
Who took the picture?
Scott Fransky.
Very nice.
Professional photographer that he is. Here's Herrera, who grounded out his first time up. That one was pulled down the right field line. It will hook foul. And it's 0-1. I'll tell you, that turtle never had a chance, just saying that. Jonathan Papelbon throwing in the bullpen. So Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez's day is most likely done after 4 innings. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup right there. Conger wants that low pitch down in the zone. Almost the point where, hey, listen, we want you to bounce it.
That's what he wanted him to do. And Herrera is struck out. 4 strikeouts for Wojciechowski. A run does score, and the RBI double by Ryan Howard. It's a 4-1 Astros lead. Tonight at 6:30 and 11, gear up for the Phillies' 2015 season with a look back at the past 15 years of Phillies managers. Hear from Ryan Sandberg, Charlie Manuel, and Larry Boa as they discuss the Phillies' past, present, and future. Don't miss Phillies Focus tonight at 6:30 and 11, only on Comcast Sports Network. Here at Bright House Field, the Astros, their only visit to Clearwater this spring. Phillies go up to Kissimmee one time. They've already done that. And Evan Gattis will lead it off here in the fifth. They'll face Jonathan Papelbon, who's had a good spring. He's only had one outing where he has scuffled. Everything else, though, his velocity has been good. His command has been very good. And he'll face Gattis, who is 1 for 2, a double, and fielder's choice. Off the roof of the Phillies dugout, and it's 0-1. Well, I guess a mixed bag is what you can say about Miguel Alfredo Gonzalez's outing today.
Yeah, it was no walks. We threw strikes. Quality strikes, on the other hand. A lot of the pitches he threw had too much to the plate. We're up in the zone, and when you have some good hitters, that's what happens, is that they hit the ball at the ballpark and you hit mistakes.
Well, Kevin Slowey, who's also battling for one of the rotation spots, will be up after Pap is done. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slowey also has had himself a good spring. Cameron Rupp brought the baseball out to Jonathan Papelbon after he got that ball off the mask. Pap's wearing the right hat today.
So if he has the wrong hat on, do you think it bothers him?
No. Do not think it bothers him even a little bit. The ball is ripped into left field. Revere bobbles it. He had a chance to get Gattis at second base. And it will be his second double of the day. Well, I guess the Braves just didn't feel like they had a comfortable position for him to play, but he can just flat out hit, can't he?
He can.
First baseman John Singleton.
Very good hitter. He's a quiet hitter. I mean, he's a big man, but he's a short swing. He barrels it up. It's loud and it's far and hard and all the above.
Well, I think you're right though about him playing in Houston. It is a short porch. He doesn't have to cover a whole lot of ground.
Right.
It's either going to go out of the park or it might hit the Crawford box's wall, or it might drop in front of him. He's going to hit it out of that stadium.
Pretty good combination with him and Carter.
Oh, yeah.
That Carter could hit some moves.
Did you see the ball he hit the other day?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I only watched the Phillies.
No. Swing and a miss. 1-1 to Singleton. Singleton is 0 for 2. He's popped out to third, flied out to left.
Couple split figure fastballs. You'd like to see him get it down in the zone and bounce it. Get us doubled. The left field was off a split finger up in the zone, and that one there as well.
To the screen, it remains 1-2. And Papelbon has a strikeout, so 1 out here in the 5th inning. 2 strikeouts now for Phil's pitching.
You see the bottom drop out of that?
It sure did. It looked like it was going to be a fastball right at the knees. Live Phillies baseball is back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Down and away, 1 ball and no strikes to Matt Dominguez, who is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. He's also grounded out to third. To the left side. Gaddis is caught in no man's land, and Galvis will just run at him. Cody Asche will track him down. And there are 2 outs. So 6-5 on the putout.
Second baseman, Marlon Gonzalez.
And Dominguez is safe at first.
Yeah, this is not a good feeling right here when you get caught out in no man's land. The rule of thumb is any ball hit to your right, you stay. You're back towards second base, but Freddie Galvis does a nice job coming over, and right there you're like, oh darn. Now the key is you want to try to stay in the rundown as long as possible, but 1 throw and the rest of the rundown.
Ashe was able to track him down. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Matt, you all right? You need some water or something?
Should be all right.
Got some peanuts or something today? Or
nope.
Cracker Jacks?
Burger.
Out towards second base. Chase Utley is there. Bobbled it for a moment and throws out Gonzalez. An easy inning, as it turns out, for Jonathan Papelbon. We played 4.5. Phil's looking for a little offense when we return. the number 0 anymore in baseball. L.J. Hose is wearing that. He's out in right field, and in center field is Alex Presley, the former Pittsburgh Pirate. We'll begin the bottom of the 5th inning, and then Brian Bogusevic will lead it off for the Phils. Bogusevic ripped one into right field his first time up. It was caught, though, by Robbie Grossman. So he's 0 for 1. Phillies still going through their order a second time. Wojciechowski has pitched well. And Bogusevic bunts foul.
Was the Astros put the shift on all the left-handed hitters?
Just about every left-handed hitter. You're right. It's not a surprise when they do it against Ryan Howard, but against everybody else. Up and away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wojciechowski was a number 1 pick, as you see Joe Thatcher in the bullpen. Number 1 pick by the Toronto Blue Jays out of the Citadel. He gets Bogusevic to put one out to left. I mentioned it was part of the 9-player trade, 6 for 3. 6 came to the Jays, or came to the Astros. 3 went to the Jays, including Jay Happ a couple of years back. In fact, through his life, he's basically lived all over the place. Matty, he's lived in more places than you. He's lived in South Carolina, Florida, Dominican Republic, Michigan, and he also lived in Europe for a few years. Played Little League Baseball in Romania before moving back to the States to Michigan. And his mom and dad moved him to South Carolina when he was a senior to get him more exposure in the MLB draft.
Not bad. He's still about 5 behind me, though. My calculations that he's about 8.
Right. You lived in Japan, so I guess that
Mexico.
In Mexico, but Japan sort of offsets Romania. You know, he didn't live in Japan, but he lived in Romania. Not many guys live in Romania.
True.
2-1 pitch that play baseball, I should say. Chris McGinnis is out on deck for the Phils. He'll pinch hit for Papelbon. There he is. Oh, it is ripped out to left field over the head of Gaddis. And a 1-hop off the base of the wall. Rupp on his way to second. He'll get there. 9th hit of the spring for Cameron Rupp. 9 for 22.
For the Phillies, batting for Padres.
That's nice right there. Nice piece of hitting right there. Gets the hands on top of the ball. Drives it over his counterpart in left field. His brother, I think. Look the same. Both are strong as each other. That's very good at bat.
He's had a good spring.
He has.
Breaking ball to McGinnis, who takes a strike. It's 0-1. The assumption is that Kevin Slowey will come in to pitch. And the top of the 6th inning, he had been warming up. And nobody else has gotten up since. Pickoff play on. Rupp is able to get back. Correa knocks it down.
That play came from the bench because you could hear one of the coaches yell, "Take a look."
Outside, 3-2. Chopper right side. Ooh. Kangarooed up there a little bit. And McGinnis is retired. Over to third goes Rupp. And 2 outs. Well, we mentioned before that the Astros are still looking for somebody to step up for the rotation. And Wojciechowski and Roberto Hernandez, the former Phil. Roberto is one of the other guys that is battling really with Asche for a spot in the rotation. So Wojciechowski's day is done. He was pretty good today for 4 2/3. He'll leave with a runner at third base. And Joe Thatcher is going to come in to pick him up. So whether he's going to be able to slide into that mix, we'll see. Today's outing probably brought him a pretty good step closer toward garnering a spot in the Astros 5-man rotation. Pitching change here at Bright House Field. Joe Thatcher will take the baseball from A.J. Hinch, the veteran left-hander. And he's being brought on because Ben Revere is the scheduled hitter for the Phils. It's interesting. I thought maybe they would let Wojciechowski, I mean, he's at 73 pitches, finish up the 5th inning. I mean, he should be at the point now in spring training where he can hit 75 pitches.
Well, he should be, but we're not really sure how many innings he had coming into today. What his pitch count was. He might have been on 70. But he did a nice job. He kept the ball down in the zone. Besides the double to Cameron to left field there, I mean, really, he's been down in the zone the whole game and kept the hitters off balance. So he did a nice job.
His ERA coming in was 0.75, so he's allowed 1 run today. So his earned run average shouldn't take that much of a hit. Starting Monday, April 6th, wake up with a brand new morning show dedicated to feeding the passion of the Phillies sports fans. Watch Breakfast on Broad weekday mornings at 6 to 8 right here on the Comcast Network. Here's Joe Thatcher, 1.42 ERA in 6 games so far this spring. It's kind of an interesting pickup, and this is a guy that could definitely help a contender. Joe Thatcher. And the Astros, I mean, everybody feels like they're a contender once the season starts. But the Astros are probably still a couple years away as they continue to rebuild.
Big part of the San Diego Padres in 2010 in their bullpen. Nasty on left-handers.
Nasty. I mean, it's just the way he comes to the plate. So this may be one and done for Thatcher, just getting Ben Revere or this last out here in the 5th inning. First pitch is over. It's 0-1. Out to shallow center field. Correa, the shortstop. Gonzalez, the second baseman. It's Correa who makes the call and then puts it away. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left over third for the Phils. On to the 6th inning with the Phillies trailing it by 3. Doing his usual act, a little dance, but this act had a little different spin to it after they were dancing around to the music here at Bright House Field. Chris Wheeler interrupted, said, "Who is that fanatic that's with you?" And who is it? Well, it is Sean Wickstead, who was a 2011 United States Military Academy graduate, and he hadn't seen his mom and dad in a year. He was deployed over in Kuwait, and today was the first time he saw them in about a year. It was an incredible scene. That is Betsy and Michael Wickstead, mom and dad, and it was a cool reaction. Look at her face when she sees her son coming. He's a former baseball player at the military academy. He's a big kid. And mom and dad were given seats in the Diamond Club. They thought they had won a contest. That's why they were sitting in the Diamond Club. And what a great surprise. They get a chance to see their son back, as we said. He's been over in Kuwait deployed for about a year. Boy, those reunions are always so emotional. I mean, it doesn't matter what sport it is. Everybody does such a great job with them. Kevin Slowey is the new pitcher for the Phils. Slowey takes over for Jonathan Papelbon. Phillies have some other changes. Actually, there's really only one other change, and it's in left field. It's Jordan Danks who takes over. So Danks takes over for Ben Revere. That one sits sharply to short, off the glove of Galvis. He has no chance. And that'll be an E6, and Correa is aboard for the third time today.
Catcher,
well, Kevin Slowey's had a good spring. He's 2-1 with an ERA of 2.08, 7 strikeouts in 8 2/3. The opposition, though, is hitting just a .194 against him. Phillies have seen him before, particularly when he was with the Marlins. Over toward first, through the hole into right field. Tony Kemp is the on-deck batter, and he'll get a chance to bat now with runners on second and third as Correa speeds over to third base. So Conger has 2 extra base hits here this afternoon for the Astros.
For the Astros, batting for Thatcher, number 97.
I'm going to say that one's going to be a single and advance to second base in this row.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll give him a single and to second on the throw. So Slowey's in a little bit of trouble here with nobody out and runners on second and third. To shortstop, knocked down by Galvis, looks the runner back to third, and then from a knee throws over to first. One away. Top of the order's coming up.
Right fielder,
You know, this game's so funny because it's the ground ball is short, you make the error. All right, so it happens. And now what it does, it brings Ryan Holden the guy on at first base.
Absolutely.
Opens up the hole there, which is the next pitch would have been a ground ball. Now he would have been out of the inning on what, 3 pitches?
Easily.
4 pitches? Instead, now he has a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, sometimes you have to look at, you know, the way a batter gets on.
Right.
That one's hit sharply through the hole on the left side. 1 run is in. Conger will be held at third. And it's an RBI single. It's now 5-1 Astros on top. So that's an unearned run.
center fielder, Alex Presley.
And Alex Presley will come up for the first time. This hit out towards center field. Herrera try to chase it down, and he can't get to it. Boy, he had that lined up. It just, he wasn't able to finish the play. 2 runs are going to wind up scoring for the Astros. So Presley picks up a 2-run, I think, base hit, because I don't know if the ball even hit Herrera's glove, although it looked like he should have caught it. And it's now 8-1.
For the Astros,
I should say 7-1 in favor of the Astros.
Number 87, Brett.
See, it's a pretty good jump right there. And he had a pretty good jump to it. He wasn't coasting or nothing, just out of the reach of Herrera in center field.
Well, here's Brett Phillips up for the first time. Takes low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Phillips has a home run so far this spring. Very few at bats. He's hitting .500 overall. So his numbers from last year, a solid year. He pops that one foul, third base side, and Asche can't get to it. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Has anyone said or confirmed how long the experiment is going to last with Herrera in center field?
I think it's no, they haven't. But I think they're going to keep it going. And I think partly it's because he's got a better arm than Ben Revere. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but no, nobody's really said if it's going to be, you know, a week-long, 2-week-long, anything like that. Chase Utley will gobble this one up. And there are 2 outs.
First baseman John Singleton.
Here's Jonathan Singleton, who's 0 for 3 today. Singleton hits that one down the left field line. It's high in the air. Danks on the run, and he won't be able to get there. I think part of it was the ball girl was kind of in the area and went the wrong way. No balls and 1 strike. I don't think he knew where she was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike to Singleton.
Hey, hot dog here, peanut, cracker jack. Who's hungry? Get your hot dog here.
Safe to say that Singleton does not get cheated when he's swinging the bat.
Well, they feel like he's going to be a fixture for them at first base for the years to come. They signed him to a major league extension even before he appeared in his first major league game. Fouls that one back to the screen.
pretty good swing. Finishes high. That barrel almost goes all the way to the backside on the finish.
That one's out toward right field, and Bogusevic is there. And puts it away, and the inning is finally over. However, 3-run score for the Astros here in the 6th inning. It all began with the error at shortstop by Freddie Galvis, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Well, back here at Bright House Field, the Phillies trail the Houston Astros 7-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Just saw some of the reasons why the Phillies are trailing this ball game. Some of the other sights and sounds going on here at Bright House Field. Changes for the Astros. Matt Dominguez moves from third base over to first base. The new third baseman is Gregorio Petit. Freddie Galvis will lead it off. Sandy Duno will be the new pitcher for the Astros. Former Minnesota Twin. He's got a new left fielder. Brett Phillips is out in left field. He pinch hit in the top of the 6th inning. Galvis is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. He's also flied out. Sends another one out toward right center field. Presley is under it, and there's one out. Well, Duno's numbers 4 spring games so far, 4.50 ERA. He's always had a good arm, Matt. In fact, Astros picked him up from the Twins last year, and they felt like they had a guy that could possibly battle for one of the rotation spots.
Well, he has a good arm. He throws a heavy baseball. He has a late sink on his sinker. His secondary pitch is not bad, but he definitely has a power arm.
Wojciechowski started today, and he went 4 2/3. Thatcher finished it up by getting Ben Revere. And now Chase Utley, who's 0 for 2. Utley pulls it foul. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Turkey Hill Kids Opening Day is Sunday, April 12th at 1:35 when the Washington Nationals are in town. It's a 3-game series, a Phillies backpack free to fans 14 and under. You can order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. In the dirt. Gomez warming up in the pen for the Phils. Probably the final at bat of the day for Utley and Howard, who's on deck. Phillies tomorrow will travel to Dunedin to take on the Blue Jays, not too far from here. Swing and a miss. And Utley is a strikeout victim. 2 outs. Then on Friday, Aaron Nola will start here on the big field for the Phils.
It's the Yankees.
Against the New York Yankees.
I wonder if A-Rod's going to finally make a road trip over here.
Well, I think if there's ever a buzz surrounding a spring training game, obviously when the Yankees come to town, there's always a buzz. But the fact that Nola will get a start, I mean, fans are coming down for the game. I mean, it's pretty exciting to see him out there. First pitch to Howard, and he'll take a breaking ball. Howard doubled homer run his last time up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This will be a fun day. See what kind of nerves he has for the game. Back in the 4th inning, we see Ryan Howard here. Seeing the ball really well, over top of it, drives it down to right field for the only run of the game so far.
Yeah, one of only 4 hits for the Phillies here this afternoon. Ball on 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Deduno strikes out Utley and Howard here in the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. 3rd time today they've gone down in order. We'll go to the 7th inning here at Bright House Field. Gomez is up next. This afternoon, 7 runs on 12 hits for the Astros. Carlos Correa, the Astros' #1 prospect and the #4 prospect overall, according to Baseball America. 2 for 3 today with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Wojciechowski today pitched exceptionally well through 4 2/3. Thatcher cleaned up the 5th inning. And then Deduno pitched the 6th. And now as we go to the 7th inning, the Phillies will turn to another right-hander. We have some other changes. Cord Phelps will take over at second base. Andres Blanco will be the new shortstop. And Darren Ruff is now in at first base for the Phils. And Jenmar Gomez will be the new pitcher for the Phils. He's been good. 6 games so far. A 1.35 ERA. Gomez over from the Pirates organization has a pretty good chance to break camp with the team as an additional right-hander out of the bullpen. There have been a lot of guys that have kind of flown under the radar this spring, and Gomez is one of those. Gomez's only run allowed came against the Pirates, and that was just last week. But other than that, Matt, he's been perfect. He's pitched 2 innings in 1 outing. He's pitched 1 inning most of the time. 1 in the 3rd his last time. And Dominguez swings at the first pitch. It's 0-1.
He has good fastball, good life on his fastball. He might not be overpowering and hit the upper 90s, but he has good movement. 92-mile-an-hour sinker, 93. He lives at the bottom of the zone, which is very important.
You want me to come back? I'll come back. Okay.
Breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Inside, 2-2. Breaking ball and a call, strike 3. Well, that was a good pitch by Gomez. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Matt, I think what you talked about, everything's down, and that's certainly the reason he's been successful this spring.
Well, it is, and he throws that fastball right there. We see that little front door slider, freezes the hitters, but that's the key for him. If he misses, he's missing up and in, which is fine because now this opens up the other half of the plate for yourself. But his fastball, slider, and all of his off-speed pitches are down in the zone.
So 1 away. Here's Marwin Gonzalez, who is 1 for 3. Singled and scored his first time up. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Matt, I don't know if you know, but we're having our last call. Yeah, last call. I don't know if he knows this or not, but he's so close to the crowd mic that the entire Delaware Valley knows it's last call down here at Bright House Field. Energetic fella. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Good breaking ball.
Come on, Ryan.
And a line drive base hit into center field for Gonzalez, so that's his 2nd hit of the day.
Shortstop, Carlos Correa.
And now Carlos Correa will be the hitter.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen a hitter like Gonzalez, who just hit, have his hands that low before. I mean, we talk about being relaxed, your shoulders and your hands. See, he wasn't supposed to get a hit right there because I was about to mention it before he got the base hit.
That he couldn't hit because his hands were too low.
No, he can hit.
Correa takes on the inside corner, 0-1.
His hands are so low, but they get back into a nice hitting position. And we talk about where Herrera, his stance are with his hands. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter if you get in the back in that power position. And the key is when you're hitting is to have a nice relaxed shoulder and a relaxed base and a good base. And that's what he had. Nice short swing.
In the dirt, 1-2 to Correa. Correa will not be 21 years old until this September. Mentioned the first overall pick in the June 2012 draft. He certainly has good hands. He's got bat speed. He's been rated as the best infield prospect, not only in the Astros organization, but by some services, the best infield prospect in all of baseball.
Really?
Swing and a miss, and he's down on strike. So the first time today, he will not venture on base. And there are 2 outs now for Hank Conger.
That's a nice location in that sinker. The bottom drops out of it. 2 strikes you got to kind of protect, and you open up the strike zone a little bit. I think somebody got into the last call.
1 ball and no strikes. Just like that, he's now fallen behind 3-0 to Hank Conger. Rough on the backhand, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Time to stretch here at Bright House Field. The Phillies down by 6. Yep, it's last call.
We've been thinking.
Down at Bright House Field in Clearwater. Phillies trail the Astros right now 7-1. I'm Amy Fadul here inside our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Coming up at 5 o'clock on Philly Sports Talk, Pro Football Talks Mike Florio. He joins us from Arizona as Chip Kelly offered some clarification on those front office shakeups with the Eagles and his change in roles. All that and much more on Philly Sports Talk at 5 o'clock. But now, though, it's back from Phillies baseball and Tom McCarthy.
All right, Amy, thank you. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, Cody Asche will lead it off. Asche so far today is 1 for 2. He singled his first time. First pitch is over. It's a strike, 0-1. Asche with 10 hits now on the spring, 10 for 41 with 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. You are right, though, Matt. It's every left-hander. They have the pull, the shift on. I guess they feel like everybody that the Phillies have left-handed is just pull hitters. Not everybody is. You got guys that can spray it all over the place, but at least for the Phillies hitters today, everybody is a pull hitter in the eyes of A.J. Hinch and the rest of the Astros.
Well, and it has a lot to do with who's on the mound as well. If they're not overpowering, if they have a lot of movement with their sinker, or like we call them a junk baller, throw a lot of changeups or curveballs. You know, why not? Try to get them out in front of the left-handed hitters and try to see if they hook the ball to right field.
Foul ball, and it's 3-2 to Cody Asche.
That's a heavy sinker and a late sinker.
Now it's to left center field. Presley is able to get there. And 1 out. That'll bring Odubel Herrera to the plate. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph, you're on the move, and the Astros may be on the move.
That's right. Yeah, they are going to be on the move, Tom. In the year 2017, really the landscape of the Grapefruit League is starting to change. It started to change a couple of years ago with some teams moving out west. Well, the Astros are on the move as well. They are moving from Kissimmee, Florida, which is where they've been for the last 31 seasons, and they are moving down to West Palm Beach, which is quite a bit away from Clearwater, Florida, probably about a 4.5-hour ride. It's down on the East Coast, just about an hour north of Miami. But building a brand new facility down there are the Astros and the Nationals together. They're going to share that facility down there in West Palm Beach. Now, I was talking to some of the folks in the Astros organization. No shovels in the ground yet. The approvals just came through this winter in about January or late January, early February. But they do expect it to be ready in 2017. So both those teams will be moving a little bit further south, and which will make it interesting to see how the schedule plays out down here in the spring. It might be that they're not unable to play those guys anymore because it is quite a ride down there. So that remains to be seen, but it'll be a nice new facility for sure for both those teams, guys.
Yeah, the Major League Baseball may have to have teams like the Phillies or the Blue Jays, as Herrera lines one into right field for a base hit, do one of those 2-day trips over to the East Coast where they can play, they can play the Astros, they can play the Mets, they can play the Cardinals, the Marlins, because those two teams, the Cardinals and Marlins, they share a site in Jupiter, which is not too far from West Palm.
Yeah, and of course the Nationals would be in that mix as well. So you are going to have a handful of teams over there. There's 15 teams in the Grapefruit League now, and there's 15 teams out there in the Cactus League. So yeah, it remains to be seen if they're going to try to spread these guys out and make teams go overnight, do overnight trips in spring, which they used to do a little bit more often than they do nowadays. So, but that's not until 2017, so they've got some time to figure that out.
Well, the other part of it too, the equation is not only does it affect the Phillies and the Blue Jays and the Yankees because of where they're located, but it also affects the Braves. The Braves are in Orlando, which is basically in the Astros' backyard. So now that doesn't leave anybody closer than the Tigers to the Braves. Tigers are in Lakeland,
which is about a 45-minute to an hour ride.
Right. So there's even talk that the Braves may move closer to Tampa, right outside of Lakeland, south of Lakeland, and south of Winter Haven, or move down to Venice, where they'll be closer to the Twins and the Red Sox, who are in Fort Myers, and closer to Port Charlotte, where the Rays are. You got it all, Matt?
Yeah, the good thing is we do home games, which is nice. We're here at Bright House Field.
Well said.
I'll let Scott in L.A. take care of those.
All right, so none of that affected you at all? That
I
Murph said?
Couldn't care. Sorry, Murph. Hey, it was a great report.
Oh, I get that a lot.
But I had some bad experiences down in West Palm Beach when I played for the Expos. And
as a player?
As a player.
My first couple of years, so.
Okay.
Well, we won't make you go back there then.
Thank you.
You know, I don't know the stadium where you guys played, where the Expos played in West Palm. I think that's still there.
I think it's a mall now, isn't it?
Oh, it is? So it's not there then?
Well, it could be.
Well, this is going nowhere.
You've seen hockey rinks inside of malls, so.
Foul ball by Bogusevic. It's 2-2. I think a lot of times teams see what other teams have, and they say, you know what, I want that.
Yeah.
You know, here they see the Phillies have the minor league complex right outside the wall, and they have a beautiful facility. And other teams want that. They see what all the teams are doing out in Arizona, which is very similar to this ballpark, and they want that.
Well,
outside, 3-2.
Tell you what, when you used to have a couple places down in, there's a minor league field over in left field corner from Bright House Stadium. I mean, it's perfect. Got that great facility, that new pitching cages as well, so it's. But it's nice that Arizona, when they got rid of those teams from Tucson, Arizona, now the longest drive was like 45 minutes.
Right.
You're right, please.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, from a fan standpoint, it doesn't get much better than Bright House Field. From a player standpoint, it doesn't get much better. The convenience of it, as Matt talked about. And Bogusevic went fishing and got a piece of it. And I believe that ball got a piece, or the bat got a piece of Conger.
Well, the nice thing about with these facilities nowadays is that as a hitter, you walk out of the locker room and under Frenchie's Tiki Bar is the batting cage is underneath there.
Right.
So that's where you're going out and you're taking some swings, you're getting your work in. So there's a lot of different areas where you can go and get your work in. But it's a great facility.
Outside, ball 4, and the Phillies have 2 on with 1 out. By the way, we had that shot of the Carpenter complex. I have no idea who that was on the mound for the Phillies, but whomever it was, he was a big man. Part of the Phillies team is done. The other half is now taking the field. That's right on the mound. Matt, what does he feature?
Lefty, 2-seamer, slider, and a pretty good changeup, actually.
Here's Cameron Rupp, who pulls it toward third. It is a fair ball, and oh wow, what a double play turned by the Astros. Petit waited for the ball. The Phillies think it was a foul ball. But Petit waited for the ball, tagged the bag, and then fired across the diamond in time to get Cameron Rupp. Oh, this is all legs right there, folks, or all arm, I should say, to get Cameron Rupp. We wrap up the 7th. Top of the 8th inning, the Astros lead the Phils 7-1. 13 hits for the Astros. Russ Kanzler comes on to play third base for the Phillies. Cody Asche's day is done. Rene Garcia is the new catcher for the Phils. And here's Gregorio Petit, who will lead things off against Gomez, beginning his second inning of work. Petit just turned that double play. It was an outstanding play, a strong arm. So he's up for the first time. 364 hitter this spring. And he swings and launches that one out toward left field. Danks on the run out toward the track, reaches up, makes the catch. And there's one away. Back to the top of the order for the Astros. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Yeah, we just had a pretty good view of Jordan Danks pulling that one in. I said he could cover some ground, can't he?
Yeah, he can. We got a lot of outfielders out there that can track some stuff down. It's fun to watch those guys work out there.
Cody Asche, speaking of work, you and I talked before the game, and you've been putting in your share of work down here at spring training, and we were talking, you're starting to feel pretty good at the plate. You're starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just starting to calm down a little bit, I think. Kind of just the natural progression of a player. Just trying to slow things down, stay calm, stay within myself, work counts, put balls in play. I think that's been a big emphasis. Rhino and Bo and Schmidt have really challenged me to put some more things into my game. You saw a fake bunt there, or an attempt to bunt, and then just battling with 2 strikes a little bit more. So I think it's fun, challenges to take on, and I just keep working on them.
When you say natural progression of a player, is that a yearly thing, or is it where you are in your career at this point? Third season, with the big club and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's that. Just it comes with experience. Some guys can pick it up real quick. Some guys it takes a little bit longer. But what you got to do is just stay with it. Trust that your work that you're putting in is going to make you better, and keep going with it.
One more week down here. You said that you blinked and we only had a week left. And that's a good thing, I would imagine, as you guys get ready for the regular season.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out of the sun and go back up to Philadelphia.
Well, there's not a lot of sun up there right now, apparently. Hey, before I let you go, a really cool moment, guys, down here in the corner. A young man standing right here had a Cody Asche jersey on, and he asked you to sign it, and you signed it and did what?
I tossed him a bat. I don't see too many Asche jerseys, so I gotta keep the fans I have.
Yeah, well, I think you got one for life right there. He gave him his bat down here in the corner, guys. It was a very cool moment. So, congratulations to you. Keep it up, and we'll see you north. Thanks for your time, guys. Back upstairs.
Everybody in Philadelphia is going to be buying an Asche jersey because they're going to think that there's an extra gift coming from it now.
Isn't that the truth?
Well, that youngster's all smiles. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alex Presley. It's a gamer, too. Fly ball, left center field. Herrera, Danks, and it's Herrera. And an easy inning for Gomez. 1 hit allowed by Gomez in 2 innings of work. And a gift for a Cody Asche fan. Pretty sweet. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 15th Annual Teacher Appreciation Night will be Friday, May 8th, when the Phillies are at Citizens Bank Park for 7:05 first pitch. Nominate your teacher now. You can check out Phillies.com/teacher for more information on how to nominate your favorite teacher. New second baseman for the Astros is Joe Sclafani as he takes over for Marwin Gonzalez. The new pitcher is Tommy Shirley. Left-hander will face Jordan Danks to start things off. It'll be Danks, Darren Ruff, and Andres Blanco. First pitch is outside. Danks hitting .310 this spring, I should say, with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Matt, now you like him. You think he's playing himself onto this roster?
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot. I like his at bats. He has a good eye of what he wants to do with the strike zone. You make a mistake and he can hit one out of the ballpark. Plays solid defense.
And all 3 outfield positions, too. Fouls it back. Tommy Shirley, a 6'5" left-hander from Xavier University. His Musketeers will be playing Arizona in the next round of the NCAA tournament. Outside, 3-1. Last year he split time between AA and AAA. He was a starting pitcher in AA. And in AAA he started some but relieved most times. Out toward left field. Phillips got turned around but is able to recover and make the catch. So 1 out.
First baseman Darren Ruff.
And here's Darren Ruff.
Darren's been swinging the bat off the wall the last few games. Until he's getting his timing down, his rhythm, confidence.
There you go. Pokes it out toward right. It's going to hang up there, though. He hit it hard. And there are 2 outs.
Andres Blanco.
And Andres Blanco's coming up. Stay up to date on all the Phillies sports teams with the CSN Phillies Sports app for breaking sports news, analysis from our insiders, plus scores, schedules, and more. Visit csnphilly.com/app and download the CSN Phillies Sports app today. And we'll have everything updated on the Phillies all the way up till opening day. Also, you can follow what's going on in the owners' meetings for the NFL. Chip Kelly did talk to the media today. No balls and 1 strike. Cesar Jimenez loosening in the pen. In the dirt, and Blanco's able to dance over top of it. Andres hitting .243 so far this spring. Nice play by the ball girl. It's all about footwork, Matt.
I was just glad she didn't charge that line drive Galvis had earlier by her
She did the right thing to stay seated. Ooh. It's off the leg of Blanco.
Oh, that's a calf.
Yep.
You know what he's telling himself right there?
What?
Keep your hands inside the baseball, and you won't do that.
Nice play off the Karen by that gentleman. Fortunately, the ball hit an empty seat because it was coming in hot. Popped him up first base. Dominguez battling the sun and makes the catch. Phillies go down quietly in the 8th inning. Seems like we've said that a lot here today. So we've played 8. We go to the 9th. Astros up by 6.
For your safety, we have
At a Phillies game with your group of 25 or more. Take advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, party areas, and much more. No matter what size group, there are always benefits and special options. For more information, check out Phillies.com/group tickets. Top of the 9th inning. Phillies trail at 7-1. Turned out to be a nice day here in Clearwater. Temperatures in the low 80s right now as we speak. Mentioned the Phillies will be on the road tomorrow. They'll be in Dunedin, just a few miles away, taking on the Blue Jays. Friday, it'll be a packed house.
for the Phillies, number 56.
When the Phillies take on the Yankees, Aaron Nola will be on the mound. We'll have that game for you. Here's Cesar Jimenez in his 6th game this spring. His earned run average 6.75. Jimenez allowed 4 earned runs in 1 outing. That was against the Orioles here at Bright House Field.
I think everybody gave up 4 runs that day.
It did seem that way. Brett Phillips takes strike 1. It's 0-1. I mean, this has been somewhat of a stagnant day offensively. That was a tough day. A lot of home runs hit that day.
There was. And this is the reason why you cannot pay a lot of attention to stats in spring training, because you have 1 bad outing, you give up 4 runs, and your ERA jumps up over 6.
But then how are they assessing his ability? Is it side sessions? Is it those other outings alone? Do they give him a mulligan for that 1 bad outing?
I think it all adds up to everything. I think the way he approaches how he battles against left-handers, as you see a weak ground ball right there and a nice slider. Wow.
Well, he was moving up the line. I think that's the right call.
I think a lot of it has to do with, just the way he pitches to righties, the way he pitches to lefties. Yeah, he had one bad outing, but you can't say he had a bad spring training because of the one outing.
Yeah. Well, here's Tyler Heineman, who will bat for the first time for the Astros.
That's just getting down the line quick. I mean, Blanco came up, strong throw to first base, proper call.
Yeah, DJ Rayburn waited for a little bit just to think about it, but it looked like it was the right call. Heineman sends one out toward right field, and Bogusevic is there.
First baseman Matt Dominguez.
And Matt Dominguez will be coming up for the Astros. Dominguez today is 1 for 4. Over to third, that might be 2. Kanzler to second for 1. Phelps' turn in time. Around the horn, 5-4-3 double play, and the Phillies are out at the top of the 9th inning. So one last chance offensively. Bottom of the 9th, Phils trail at 7-1. (2014-2015) sophomores and juniors with a minimum GPA of 3.0, a B average. You can qualify for our Extraordinary Scholar Program. Write an essay sharing how you are contributing to the common good through service. 2 winners will be selected each month of the season to be honored on the field as an Extraordinary Scholar. Nominations accepted on a rolling basis through August 3rd of this year. Go to Phillies.com/scholar for more information. Bottom of the 9th inning. And Will Harris will be the new pitcher for the Astros. This is his 8th ball game, 0-1, with an earned run average of 3.38. And he's got 2 saves so far this spring. This is not a save situation, but he's in there to get some work here in the 9th inning. He'll face Cord Phelps to start things off. First pitch is fouled over our heads and out of play. 0-1. Harris last year made it to the major leagues with the Diamondbacks. He originally made it to the majors in 2012 with the Rockies. The Astros claimed him off waivers from Arizona in November. This offseason, he'll begin the season as a 30-year-old. Fastball in there, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Phelps. Up and away, 3-2. Phelps hitting .303 this spring. Switch hitter, play second base, play third base. Whether he makes the team or not probably depends on the decision on others. Whether it be Cesar Hernandez, who does not have any options left. He's a homegrown guy. Phelps does have options left. Sometimes that plays into the business of this. He's had a solid spring, but from a paperwork standpoint, they have the ability to send him down to the minor leagues and let him get some swings again. And there's ball 4. Well, this July, the induction into the Hall of Fame will feature 4 players. And of course, Dick Enberg wins the he's going to the broadcasters wing of the Hall of Fame. And Tom Gage is going into the writers wing. But John Smoltz, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, and Craig Biggio, who's on the cover of the Astros media guide. Those guys will be the class of 2015 Baseball Hall of Fame. Who did you like facing more? Smoltz, Martinez, or Johnson?
Johnson.
Did you really?
Yep.
Why? You knew it was a fastball?
I knew he couldn't throw a slider for a strike. Because right-handers, he'd throw that slider down and in.
And they'd swing at it?
Swing at it.
Lefties?
Lefties, he never threw it for a strike. He never threw inside the left-handers. Unless he wanted to buzz you. But you just look at it over plate and let him generate the power. Pedro Martinez, I'm not so good. I think I got 1 hit against him.
Is that because of his cutter?
No, because he's a mean person on the mound. No, for me, I had a problem with his changeup.
Oh, really?
Oh, you'd sit fastball and he'd throw the changeup and whatever. And Smoltz, I'm not even sure if I ever faced him.
You had to have faced John Smoltz at least once, right?
I would think.
I mean, you were playing every day at one point and he was closing, but even latter portion of his career, we have been told, hold on one second, we've got an update coming from the production cavity. You are 0 for 3 with 1 punch out against John Smoltz.
That's about right.
Well, a minute ago you hadn't faced him.
Well, I'm saying that's about my career average against a lot of players.
All right, we're checking on your Randy Johnson numbers.
I'll say about 286.
I'm hoping there's some home runs in there.
No.
Oh.
The only left-handers ever hit home runs off him was Larry Walker, I believe. Jim Edmonds. We used to load our lineup versus him in Seattle with left-handers. You know, we'd have Ben Grieve, myself, Jason Giambi.
This is when you're at the A's.
Yeah, Eric Chavez.
Back toward the middle, that might be 2. Boy, that ball was hit right on the nose. Not much Nelson can do about it. Double play, 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And Russ Kanzler will be the batter.
Russ Kanzler.
You hit .412 against Randy Johnson. How is that man in the Hall of Fame? Well, you're in the Canadian Hall of Fame, so it's just right. He was afraid of you twice. He walked you.
I just swung early in the game.
Kanzler, a .241 hitter this spring. All right, so we're not going to bring up the Pedro Martinez numbers.
No, I think I'm probably 1 for 20-something against him.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about, Biggio and his enshrinement. I thought he should have got in last year.
I agree.
Man had 3,000 hits. It is,
It is what it is, 3,000 hits.
It's the mark that everybody sort of leans toward. Some folks say he's a compiler. I just think he was a good player.
All right.
By the way, this from the production cavity.
Great.
2 for 12 against Pedro Martinez.
That's not bad.
167 average. I should say the satellite production cavity. 2-1 pitch. A liner out toward right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Kanzler's aboard, a 2-out single. And Odubel Herrera will get a chance to get a hack against Will Harris.
Yeah, those 2 for 12 at bats against Pedro. Probably had 8 strikeouts.
7.
4 of those came in one game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did you bunt once?
No. Why would I bunt? The time I bunt would be the time to be right down the middle. And I can pop it up.
Herrera has a hit today.
Did you really just say, why didn't I bunt?
I was just trying to make conversation. I knew you wouldn't bunt.
I've done it twice in my career. And struck out the other 1,200 times.
Runner goes, and then Herrera lines it out toward right field, but it's right at HOU. So the Phillies got some swings against Will Harris in this inning, but nothing to show for it as the Astros have defeated the Phillies 7-1 this afternoon here at Bright House Field. 2 hours and 43 minutes. A.J. Hinch's team picks up the victory.